DJ and PK, the Utah Mammoth, will go for 2 out of 3 on their road trip tonight at 5 p.m. from Madison Square Garden as they take on the Rangers after they fell 4-1 to New Jersey on Saturday afternoon, a team that has given them all sorts of fits, one of 6 NHL teams that Utah didn't beat last year and still hasn't beaten this year. It was a contest where the Devils got a couple in the first, 2 goals in the second half of the first period after the Mammoth got some good scoring chances from their top line at Clayton Keller, Nick Schmaltz, and J.J. Peterka, but 2 goals in 1 minute and 51 seconds off of pucks that exited the Utah offensive zone, ended up in the back of the net, and the Devils were able to make it 2-0. A 2-0 lead that held for almost 21 minutes. Mammoth just couldn't get one back before they killed a full 5-on-3 shorthanded situation to keep it 2-0, and then the Devils scored 4 seconds later to make it 3-0. Then off of a face-off to make it 4-0. Michael Carcone got Utah on the board in the third with his 7th. And that would be it for the Mammoth on Saturday night.
Jersey this way for Daniil Boot. Penalty time's over. Nason's out of the box. We're at 5-on-5. Hayden, pass across. One-timer, they score! Michael Carcone gets Utah on the board at 5-on-5. And it's 4-1 with 7:25 to go in the third.
Sean Jersey and Barrett Hayton on the assist. Hayton now has 5 points in his last 5. Jersey has 9 points in his last 10. So Utah was going for 2 straight wins on Saturday after they beat the Islanders by a count of 7-2 on Thursday, but couldn't quite get rolling as they crossed the river to Newark. Mentioned the solid play of Sean Jersey as of late. Heard from him post-game after this one on Saturday.
I guess where do you start in terms of whether internal reflection or just the way the game unfolded? Where do you feel the biggest challenge was in this one?
I mean, clearly just not good enough. We're going to have to look at this one, break down the video, see what went wrong, and come back to you. But not many – we shouldn't be happy about that. Every night in the NHL right now is a battle. Points are as critical as ever. We got to try to get on a run here. Can't have one good game and then one bad game, one good game. It's got to be we got to string together a lot of good ones. And not that we haven't been doing good things, but it's just getting points and getting wins.
Do you just feel like you're close to figuring out what that bridge is between the good ones and the not so good ones?
Yeah, we're just critical mistakes are costing us. Whether it's management, you could look at a bunch of plays there and puck management, and a bunch of plays. But I think looking at the effort, it's not like guys don't want to win. There's a lot of heart in our room. There's a lot of character. We're one in there. There's no separation within the group. There's no, pointing fingers, this, that. We're owning it, and we know we got to be better. And we have the right leadership. We just have to do it, and that's what it comes down to.
I think you guys got up to a good start, though. You guys started off well, and then it went downhill after that.
Yeah, that's 2 games now against these guys. We couldn't put one in the net. I think, that's a good goalie on the other side, and I think any goalie with some traffic makes it a little tougher. So it's finding ways to, whether we played a tight one against them last time, it could have gone either way, but I thought tonight, just key moments, take a few moments out of that game, and it goes either way. So it's hockey, but we know we got to be better.
Talking about hockey, it seems like you guys play a lot of games in a lot of days. It seems like it's getting to slow you guys down, or it's getting to be a little bit tiresome. What's your take? Yeah,
listen, it's obviously a tough schedule this year, but I don't think we're using that. I think they give us enough rest. They give us enough time to recover. We have a great staff who helps us out with all that stuff, and we look at the numbers. There's no excuses here. It's finding a way to string together wins, and I think those are the teams you see who get in are teams who are able to go on runs and string some points together.
What do you guys need to do to bounce back on Monday?
Our start, obviously we got to be laser focused, but I think we got to break down this game. We got to obviously own it. There's a period of where we break it down and own it, but then it's hit the restart button. It's the NHL. Games are going either way every night. We have a good chance to kind of finish on a good note here in New York, and we know we have to do that.
How hard is it to stay consistent in the NHL, and what do you need to do in order to be consistent?
A lot of it's mental. I think just some plays aren't going to go your way, whether it's your fault or not your fault. Goals against here and there, you can point fingers, point that, but we don't do that in our group. I think it's owning everything we do out there and moving on and being focused for the next shift. We use that Roger Federer quote, how he only won 50% of points, 54% of points he ever played, but 80% of his matches. You got to be able to be laser focused, move on to the next play, move on to the next moment, and own it from there.
So for Utah on Thursday, their best players had piled in the points. 4 points for Gunther, 3 points for Schmaltz, Keller, and Peterka. Sergachev had 3 points, no points for those skaters on Saturday, and they were on the ice for the goals against that Utah gave up. Mammoth, as we said, moving on to Madison Square Garden tonight. Here's what head coach Andre Tourigny said after the game on Saturday.
Obviously, puck management early in the game cost us a lot. I think it's a team with a tight gap, and we tried to play in front of them, and we paid for it. And then when we were trailing, they played good defense, and we had good opportunity, but we could not bury it. So, make a difference. Thing we could have done better is, for sure, it's more traffic at the net. We were a little bit light in front of their net, so Markstrom played good, but he saw most of the shots, so we could have done a much better job.
He has been pretty adamant on saying they're owning this. They don't want to feel good about this loss.
Yep.
What is the reflection process that you need to see differently in order to find a more consistent rhythm?
Yeah, that's. I agree with Durs. I think we don't want any moral victory. We want to own our result, and obviously today it didn't go the way we want. So it will be important to reflect on it and make sure we arrive with good answers instead to answers with emotion. I think need to review that game, analyze it, and make sure we have the right answer to move forward and get better because of it.
You started out really well. You had a really good start, and you started out really well, and you seemed like your first period everything was going your way.
Yep. Yeah, we had great chance, but that's part of being a good team is when you don't score first or the opponent find a way to score on turnovers. Like I said, we need to find a way to regroup and grind your way back, and we did it.
You guys have dropped the past 4 games against the Devils. What do they do in particular that you guys just can't win against?
Well, it's tough when the game are spread out like that. If it was 4 in the same week, okay, now you can have a theme. But I think they played good. They played really hard, and like I said, they defend their net front really well in the two game against them, and we could not find a way to create more traffic. I think it's a mix of they apply good pressure on the puck here, so you need support, and you get out of your structure to support, and you're not in front of the net enough. But that is the part we need to analyze to have better answers.
You finding the schedule to be a little difficult? A lot of games, a lot of short period of time. Guys can't recuperate. Guys can't kind of get their stuff going.
Yeah, but it's the same for everybody. So if you cannot do that, the opponent cannot do that as well. So it's we all play with the same deck of cards. So we need to find a way.
You said something that's going to get you guys through this inconsistency is because your team is great together and they don't give up. Is that something you agree with?
Sorry? Repeat that.
Durgy said that's something that's going to get you through this inconsistency is that your team is super tight knit.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. They prove it in the past, and the guys care a ton. And I always say that there's a lot of pride in that room, and the guys care and they love each other, so they'll stick together. That's no doubt about it.
Thanks.
The other news of the weekend, Clayton Keller named to the Team USA Olympic team for the first time. He's represented the United States 7 times on the world stage. This will be the 27-year-old's first time in the Olympics. So congratulations to Utah's captain on that. And he did captain the United States to the World Championship, their first title in that tournament in 92 years last summer. So nice reward there for the Utah captain. Congratulations to him. And Olli Mata, who is named to Team Finland, still waiting on official announcements for J.J. Peterka on Team Germany, as well as will Karel Vejmelka be on the Czech team. Mammoth Daily returned today from our Christmas vacation, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Utah Mammoth YouTube page, SEG Plus, and Mammoth Plus. Mike Fulta and myself every day, at least 30 minutes on the Mammoth. Today, our Monday Morning Power Play gives you the top 5 stories going into the week. So check us out, like us, share us, Mammoth Daily, wherever you get your podcasts. We're on the air today at 4 Puck drops at 5 from Madison Square Garden, with the Jazz game at Portland will be on for the entirety on the AM side tonight, AM 1280, the KSL Sports Zone, along with the KSL Sports app. Mammoth home on Wednesday to take on Ottawa. That's going to start 7 straight games in downtown Salt Lake City at the Delta Center.